Well, good morning, world, and welcome in to a show of positivity, but a show that we are going to get real and we are going to talk this morning. If you saw my post yesterday, I said we will talk about what happened in the world. We have to. One of the biggest things that we'll talk about is you cannot any longer stay silent, and we won't be silenced, even though that was the mission yesterday. So yes, I'm coming straight out of the gate, being very real, and most likely we'll get emotional. I will say this, I was so very proud of some of the people in this nation that spoke out yesterday on several of the news channels and showed their emotion. Very hard to hold back their emotion. I shared some of that yesterday, and I didn't get a chance really to watch any of the local news, but was very glued into national news on every level. I don't care what side of the aisle. That's one thing that we have to break down. It is more, are you good or are you evil? It's not, are you left or are you right? Right? I think that's what we need to understand. So normally I wouldn't bring my dear friend Jessica Cooke into the news, but I'm going to do that today because we need to speak out. It happened just about an hour and a half before I went on to do my show last night. And then I asked right away to Chuck Gillentine from Defiance Ridge Vineyards. I said, as a business owner, I want you to speak out. And he's like, yes. He goes, it makes you sit there and wonder, you have these outside events, and at any point, something like that could happen. I hope by now you know what I'm talking about, the political assassination of Charlie Kirk. And we will discuss that. We will discuss what the mission was supposed to be, which is what? To silence his beliefs, to silence the beliefs of passion, Christian beliefs. We're going to talk about that. And I asked for you to speak out. So this is where you don't stay silent. And I don't care what side you are on, but the hate will not continue. Somehow we have to eradicate that. But again, it's all of us having a mission to do what we need to do and to not stay silent. In fact, Jessica's going to talk about a story that just from a personal standpoint, where somebody was trying to hurt somebody and tried to do wrong. And she saw everybody else just stay there, get out their phones, stay in their own world, be narcissistic. And she's like, hello. And she spoke up, right? So sometimes people say, is that going to get me in trouble? I don't know. We can go all the way back to Jesus Christ. And you would think, I would hope that he would have never been crucified. I'm going to go there, folks. But it was his mission. And then from his mission on, it was my followers. I thought about this when I was getting ready this morning, and I've never even thought about this before. But think about what it's called by all of you that have social media pages. Your followers, right? He's been asking us to have followers, and it's our platforms of what we do with those followers. Think about that. And the millions that Charlie had. So yes, you have never seen me come out of the gate like this before, but I am ticked off, or as many people have said, they've been throwing the F-bombs. And I'm glad, actually. I just found out from Jessica that on Fox, one of the guys was like, if you think that we have been silenced, no, you have just effed us off. So should I say it? I don't know. I don't want to offend all of you, but Jessica said, say it. Being real. I'm going to let Jessica do it. All right. But we're going to give you some positivity as well, because that is what we need. We need to squash the hate and bring some positivity. We are going to discuss this a little more in depth. We're going to talk about the incredible gala that's coming up in November that I'm so proud to be a part of. And we need you to step up. We need you to want to help in this world as well. And then how about those toys that we give to our dogs? Well, we think they're good for them. Are we doing harm? We'll discuss all of that. So as you're tuning in this morning, I also want to talk about this. Are you fed up with the weather? 91 degrees today. Doesn't stop there. Look at 93 tomorrow, 95, or some are predicting 97 to 98 by Saturday, 94 on Monday. And then we get into next week. It starts to finally get into the upper 80s by the time we get to Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So if you thought that summer was done, yeah, think again. It is hanging on for good. All right. As you are just signing on, I'm going to say good morning to all of you. I will look at your comments here in just a second. Feel free to drop them in live or when you watch this later, #replay. Let us know your feelings. Please don't stay silent. Speak up. When we come back, we're going to discuss this a little bit more with Jessica, and then we're going to get into some positivity.
When you want to feel good, you work out at Crunch. You don't go here, because here feels bad. But here we help you feel good, feel strong, feel rejuvenated.
Join Crunch Fitness today.
Welcome to the mobile Monica version of the Real Monica Adams Show at my favorite restaurant.
There's something about a coffee house that's just very warm and welcoming.
Gives you that sense of community.
What are you most proud of since you've opened it?
I cry easily. I'm thankful for everybody here.
You opened the door during the middle of the pandemic. You got the best Italian restaurant in the United States. Here in St. Louis, you put us on the map.
Does it scare you? Go through fear?
Terrifying.
So how do you get past the fear?
We find something to laugh about.
Welcome back, and here she is, my friend. I asked her before, so don't think I'm just throwing her into this, but I was like, I'd love for you to join me on this. A very passionate woman, not ashamed whatsoever to talk about our faith and what we want for this world, and we are positively pissed off.
Yes.
I love that you just said that to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's true. So for all of you that are signing on, yes, good morning. We do need prayers for our world, and we are going to see this in the news for days and weeks to come. The biggest thing is, and I was hoping, Jessica, that I would wake up this morning and that I would in fact hear that we have been closer to finding someone. But again, conservative activist Charlie Kirk assassinated at the Utah University. The shooter, unfortunately, still at large. The manhunt is underway. And you see this from Good Morning America. Manhunt for Charlie Kirk's killer continues as Trump blames Democrats. Right? It depends on the headline and what line, again, what side you're looking at. Trump is ordering U.S. flags to be flown at half staff through Sunday in honor of Charlie Kirk. I was just talking to Jessica about this, and she said, which really breaks my heart, his wife Erica was there.
Yeah, that's
what you're hearing?
That's what we're hearing, that she was there, and the kids are always around after he does things, and they run to him. So I can't even imagine.
No, not at all. And again, for those of you that don't know, so those of you that don't know about this story, and maybe again, we're away from the news, because my big thing really is always, stay away from the news. But at this point, you can't. I mean, this is all over the world, and discussing this of how this is impacting us. And, one of the things that you and I had talked about is the silencing that they tried to do yesterday. And instead, it is the exact opposite, because all you have to do is go to any social media platform, any news channel, any website of a news channel, and everyone is talking about this, which again, we know Charlie's in a better place.
Yeah.
He is with Lord, who he spoke so passionately about.
As he would say, I just got a promotion.
Yeah.
He's with God now.
Right.
So yeah.
And I saw somebody yesterday. Do you know about Omen Coffee House? I think it's down in the city. The man who owns that, I was flipping through, just listening to different people talk and what their viewpoints were, whatever. And he said, what I'm saying is probably going to be very different from the way a lot of people are right now, which everybody is. He's like, everybody's talking about how surprised they are and how upset they are, how pissed off they are, et cetera. And he said, really, you're surprised? He's like, this doesn't surprise me. And he said, in fact, I'm actually proud. And he's like, I know you're all not going to understand that, but I am so proud because he has now woken this world up.
Yes, I agree. And I want to make sure I get this quote right, because I've seen this. When you tear out a man's tongue, you're not proving him a liar. You're only telling the world that you fear what he might say. I thought that was so appropriate for him, because we teach our kids to speak up and, speak eloquently and not argumentative. And at first when this happened, I had knew of him, but it was actually so shocking and touched me that my daughter, who's 22 and in nursing school, she came running in. They shot Charlie Kirk. They shot Charlie Kirk. And I'm like, and she's like, all he ever wanted to do was have a conversation. And she has a variety of friends. And she's like, we all would discuss him. And she's like, I could have been me at a college campus asking a question.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. So what happened is people are saying, well, now no longer are we going to be able to have these open platforms. And, at universities, where I believe he was supposed to go to LSU next. I think that was the next stop. That was his first stop, by the way, on this tour. And yes, no matter what, the people that hated him and the fact, this ticked me off. There's so much.
Lay it out.
Have you seen, and again, I know that they came out and said, no, it was bad timing. Did you see TMZ?
I did.
What are your thoughts on it? Do you think it was just bad timing?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It could be. They're known for like goofy reporting, and there is a lot of hustle and bustle. If you watch other reports that are going on, there's a lot of stuff going in the background. It could have been. I hope that
I have to hope
it
as
was
well. But
bad
you know they're going to
timing.
obvie come out
I
and say,
don't
no, no,
know.
no, it was timing.
Yeah.
We don't know.
I don't know. I mean, they addressed it right away.
They did, and I appreciated that.
You know, and there's we see a lot of other people being very disgusting, and, you know, this is a man's life and a son and a father. And if they did come out and kind of correct themselves, who knows? I don't know if they're pretty savvy. I don't know if they tried to do that to get ahead of.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
We won't know, and they're
We
never
just-
going to say that it was, in fact. I mean, I did see the one guy he said, you saw me kind of rush back to say, like, what the heck?
Right.
Like, this was not
Right.
good timing. The other is, and I had it up and then was looking for a bunch of stuff this morning, but did you see the woman on X? That they're now they're like, you know, look, the hate that's out there, she was pretty much applauding it. And then what she wrote underneath it of Charlie Kirk's bleeding from the neck, and then put a red drip of blood and put, laugh my effing ass off.
No, that to me is so disgusting. No matter who it is, it's a life. It is a life. And I don't care if you did not like that person. You know, it's even when we take out the bad guys, it shouldn't be a sense of necessarily cheering.
It's not a celebration.
It's not a celebration. At the end of the day, it's life. And, it blows my mind. I've seen
really
some of
did.
the stuff, and I'm like, oh, my unfriend button is working
see,
fast.
I'm glad you did. Again, if you're just tuning in, Jessica Cooke and I talking about what happened to our world yesterday, and now what has truly opened people's eyes. And I really hope that he will be proud, because if we don't do something with this, his life is gone for nothing.
Yeah.
He was taken for nothing. This now needs to light you all up. You all need to speak. It will be interesting to see who will take his ministry forward. Yeah. I don't know. Again, without really knowing much about his wife or his family or his followers, you've got millions of people that followed him on Instagram and Facebook and X and TikTok, etc. Somebody needs to take that Turning Point ministry and move forward and have that same passionate voice.
And it wasn't, I think, one of the scariest things too for me when you get past the initial shock is who hired this assassin. It was a clearly calculated,
Absolutely.
skillful person. That means there's a group of organized, some people that took him out. And I feel like no matter what side you're on, that should be frightening.
That should scare you.
That, such a skilled shot out of anywhere to take someone out for just speaking at a college campus, that is terrifying.
Well, and everybody in the very early reports were like, come on, where was the security? He had obviously his own security, but aren't there cameras all over that campus? How did this person get away? How do you have a rifle? And then the irresponsible reporting that took place very early on of, we've got somebody in custody. And that made everybody be like, okay, good. At least that's the case. Then it was, this information coming in. Oh, well, no, that person's been released. No, there isn't anybody. Now again.
And so there's a lot of, to me, that looks like, was that also planted? Is that
decoy,
look over here while I'm going away? Gone. Like there's just, it's the whole thing is very unsettling.
It really is. And so I'm going to ask you, because again, everybody in this world needs to be aware. Does it make you fearful moving forward, or does it empower you to say, we're going to band together and we're not going to stop? Because what they're trying to do, whoever's behind this, is trying to silence this world, those beliefs, and get us to stop and be fearful and stay in our homes and not get out.
Oh, I woke up on fire. On fire. Absolutely not. This should, every person out there, that now's the time to double down on courage, truth, speak up, knowing right from wrong. It doesn't mean match violence with violence, but it means we were always taught, if you see something, say something. But action now too is if, and we were kind of talking about, like, if I see something that I know is wrong.
Yeah. What did you see happen?
So I was in TJ Maxx. This was, I think, 2 Christmases ago. And, the line is wrapped around, and it's a large gentleman, and was going back and forth. At first, I didn't know until his voice started getting, it makes you look like, that's a yelling, this is that tone. and he's leaning in at the little girl who's just a cashier at Christmas time at TJ Maxx. And I don't know the whole thing, but he wanted a refund, and she couldn't give him a refund for one reason or another. And it kept escalating. And everyone at that point was very aware, and everyone started to get out their phones to video. And he said something like, "We're going to have a problem." And he leaned in, and I said, "I'm calling 911." Mm-hmm. And then I was on the phone with 911. Well, that was enough to, I guess, he heard that. He knew he was going to be in trouble. He's threatening. It's all these women in here. And I followed him out and flagged down the police and pointed, "He's right here."
Good for you.
And then the cashier had to go out there, and I don't know what happened after that, but I walked in and she told me, "Thank you so much
for doing something."
I said, "I could tell you were getting uncomfortable." Mm-hmm. It was escalating. It needed to happen, right? Because what was going to be next was everybody going to videotape this girl getting punched in the face,
or worse?
Did he have a weapon? Mm-hmm. And I let him know what was going to happen. And at that time, I went home and told my husband. He was like, "What are you doing?"
The protective side of your husband coming out.
And I'm like, "I can run pretty fast," but I was like, something needed to be done. Right. I just thought that could be my daughter.
Correct.
And the same thing, we've had very disgruntled people here.
That's what I told my mom.
And call the police. Yep. I open the door. "You're not welcome back." I've been spit in the face. Mm-hmm. I've had things thrown at. Mm-hmm. But I want my staff to know that, and other clients, that is not okay. If something is unsafe, yep. And we're going to escalate, and we can have a conversation. And it's always done with calmness mm-hmm. and grace. But it doesn't mean that you're not shaken up, and you don't, there's a point where you're like, "What am I doing?" But then you're like, "No, I have to stand up for what is right."
But you came back and said something that's very powerful. I know our police think this way. I'm coming to try to help a car that's broken down, just has a flat tire. But now I have to walk and think, "Do you have a weapon on you?" Mm-hmm. That's the world that we're in right now. So it's no longer, they're not bringing fists to a fight. They're bringing weapons. Yeah. And it's suddenly the mindset of, "I don't like what you said. I'm going to shoot you." And they don't care what happens to them. Yeah. They just want to silence you. And that's the world that we're in right now. So I asked this actually a couple of weeks ago, because I said, where I go to church, there's 3 to 4 different officers that are there. Some are in, regular uniforms. Others are, mm-hmm. Regular clothes. And I said, "Does that make you feel more safe, or does it concern you that there are officers at church?" Other people were like, "Oh, we don't have officers at church." And I said, "Watch, this is where the world's going to be. Mm-hmm. There's going to have to be." But at the same time, who's going to fund that?
I know.
Right? Because they're already short staffed in the first place, because they're trying to be our protector. Now we're turning into a world of everyone saying, "I want to protect." And we have to lock mm-hmm. arms and do just that. Mm-hmm. You have to do what Jessica would do, what I would do. I wouldn't stand and be like, "Here's my phone. I'm just going to, hello, we mm-hmm. need to help each other."
Yes, because you don't want to, let's be honest, depending on where you're at, it takes a while for the police to get there. And we have to get out of this mindset that, yes, the police, they're going to help us, always call them, but be aware of your surroundings, be prepared, do what you can as well too. Because I live in an area where, that's it. No one's going to be coming for a while. So, and we're ready, and you just have to advocate for yourself.
Again, I asked you in yesterday's post to please speak out. I have a very dear friend of mine, and I'm not going to say who. She knows who she is. Very dear friend. She shared my post because I saw it like immediately, and I was like, "What? I got to put this out there. Like, let's pray for Charlie." At that time, hoping that he was going to be okay, even though every report I heard without seeing that video was, "This doesn't look good. This doesn't look good." Unfortunately, I did see the video. I do not recommend you see it. I was scrolling, trying to find some of these amazing pictures of Charlie, there, moments before throwing the hats out, just the patriotism that he had, the positivity that he had. And then I found a picture of, he and his family. That's what I was looking for on X. And then all of a sudden there was the video. And I turned away so fast, it made me sick to my stomach. It's very hard to watch. Please don't look for it. I'm just going to say this right now. It will scar you. I didn't sleep. I woke up and was just like, let's go. Let's start talking to this world. Everyone that's signing in, yes, prayers for our country. Now, Carrie said, add to that a school shooting in Denver and a shooting in McDonald's in Missouri.
I did not hear about that. The Denver one I heard. The school.
She said all within 5 hours of each other. Charlie died for a cause, and it's our turn to carry it on. Exactly what we're saying. And all of this on the eve, as you'll see here on the bottom, it is Patriots Day, National Day of Service and Remembrance as well. All of that, again, on that eve. Terry said prayers to Charlie and his family and the world who is mourning. May his message continue, and we have many more Charlie Kirks to continue his message. Exactly. He was a true and honest debater who listened and tried to understand and share the truth of God. I feel the negativity starts from the lies from the top Democratic Party. The continued evil from the media has played a part in reaching the masses. However, we've been silent far too long and know the truth. We will continue on his positive journey and share the truth and love of what God created. We will not be silent today. I've been noticing public elite Democratic leaders make TikTok, etc., saying to stop the violence and mourning in words, and only words at this point for Charlie's death. However, those powerful voices need to find positivity without lies. And again, obviously continues. So you can feel the passion that people just want to speak out.
Yeah.
Don't let the evil in. Don't let the evil win. Exactly. Rose said it's a sad day indeed when any life is lost for having an opinion. I loved his belief in God. Again, that's where when I was just looking and scrolling through his pages, it was this man was not afraid to speak out and really target that younger generation. Again, those are our future leaders. They were listening to that. There really is this movement in the world, which I am very proud of people saying, I'm going to come forward and say my belief and my love in God. And we're seeing that turn that we never really saw before. She said, I know I'm weird, but looking at that beautiful portrait of the dog behind you guys made me smile this morning. Good. We need to give you some positivity. We must have more love and positivity in the world. Absolutely. Dot, you know, I was talking about you. I'm heartbroken. I'm saddened by the senseless attacks on Charlie Kirk. We need to honor him forever. There was a person on her page after she shared my post, and I couldn't believe what the person said. And then what happened is what you would imagine, which was everybody jumping on him going, what the F? What is wrong with you? That's what he wanted, though.
Yeah.
Anyone that's speaking out and saying and celebrating this death and celebrating the fact that he's no longer with us and that his voice is silenced, it's the same hate.
Yeah.
It's in that same group, and all you do is block.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
You don't give it power.
No, because love will always win. And wouldn't it be great if everybody just debated and it was, you know, at the end of the day, we shook hands. We don't agree with each other, but that's okay. That is what he was doing. That's what makes you different. That's what makes me different. And it's okay, instead of holding on and holding grudges and you want to silence and you want to cause violence. It's never going to be okay.
It's not going to be okay, and we're never going to get anywhere. And I applauded him. Again, I was kind of like you. I was like, I don't really know much about him, but oh my gosh, I wish I would have. Now I will. And now I'll be looking at the message. I mean, you think about, I'm going to go back. You think about Jesus, how much more powerful his story is now than when he walked this earth. And that's what he wanted. Continue to get the message out. That's what Charlie wants. And that is, if we can carry out his mission, that is exactly what will happen in this world. Carrie just said there was the Jennings McDonald's, an argument turned into a shooting between high school students. Again, I'm getting chills of the fact that this is what's happening. And, you know, it's evil, if you allow it, is getting ready to try to take over, but we have to trump that. Yeah, absolutely. All right, folks. So we had to, again, I said we would be remiss if we didn't touch on this. Feel free to continue to comment as you want. We'll look at the comments all throughout the rest of the day. Please speak up. Don't sit silent, and let's carry on his mission. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we have a couple things to talk about. One, I hope that you've bought your tickets. If you haven't, today's the day. Yes. Today is the day you're going to want to buy them, because there's something special that Jessica's going to give you. As well, I want these sponsors to step up. We sponsored one of the levels that we sponsored at, which was the $500 level. There is one of those left? One of those left. Okay, and then there's the bar. There's the open bar and then the band. Yep, and the band. And yeah, there's still, we're stuffing swag bags. There's swag bag sponsors as well, and still tables available. Okay, so we'll talk about all of that and the toys that, you know, I go to the store all the time and I'm like, oh, I can't come back home without a toy for the babies. Hang on, we might be doing them a disservice. We'll talk about all of that when we return.
Discover your full potential with a personalized styling experience. Designing, customizing, and transforming the looks of men and women. Revamp your individual style and embrace what makes you, you. That's real confidence.
All right, let's get into some positivity, all right? Because that's the thing. Yes, there's going to be bad in the world, but there's the positive side, and all of us with this voice and this faith-based voice, we are going to take over, and we're going to bring some smiles to you now. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the gala. So it's coming up in November. For those that don't know about it, give us a little bit more information.
So we only have one fundraiser a year that we host, and this is it. So our funds are needed for vet care. And that's more than ever, vet care prices are rising. We often used to say it costs about $500 to vet out a dog. And sometimes we've had neuters now that are like almost $500. So depending on what vets we can work with, if they need pre-surgical things. And so adoption fees never cover those prices. So join us at Whitmore November 8th from 5 to 10. So from 5 to 6, it's cocktail hour. That's my favorite part, flounder hour.
Yeah, we got to play with the doggies.
Yeah, so you get to see what your money that evening is going to go for. And we have a plated dinner, open bar, great band. If you were at our very first gala, we brought Linda Gall's band back because she just killed it. Everybody had so much fun. Lots of live auctions. We've got trips. And then so many great silent auctions. My mom has knocked it out of the park this year. She retired, and I was like, hey, would you like to go around and collect some items for our gala? Well, she comes back and tells me, I met the nicest manager at this store. And I keep laughing. So we generously got donated, I think, 4 grills. I was like, where are you getting these grills from? She's like, Home Depot. They're so nice. So we have one of the grills in our lobby in Cottleville. So if you're not tech savvy, that we've had some clients that are like, I don't do apps and I don't do websites. So if you come in and purchase your ticket, we're making it easier for you guys. And at that time, we're going to raffle off one of the grills if you buy your ticket in-house before October 8th.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. And more, by the way, so people always ask, does she need donations? Do you need things for the live auction, silent auction?
We could always use more because we want to have a variety of things for everybody's price point, what they're looking to spend. Yeah. So you name it. Yeah, we would appreciate it. And if it's just even something small, we need things to kind of zhuzh up the baskets, like items. And then we also need items, we'll put it together, or we appreciate the whole basket. So whatever we'll manage. We appreciate it.
Because again, that's where we're able to raise big money. And they really did have some incredible silent auction items and live auction items last year. So are you doing a fund to need also?
Probably that evening. Yeah. We'll have you talk a little bit more about that. But yeah, because I mean, the need for vet care is there. That really sets, so this gala, when at the end, it's November 8th, and then we get together and start planning 2026. We go back and look at past medical bills, what we spent each quarter, what we're able to start saying yes to for, we'll know if, okay, we can take on this heartworm case. We can help this special needs dog. This dog has kidneys. So that really allows us to be able to say yes to that, because our goal is, when a dog comes into our rescue, we support them 100%, no matter what they need. If they just need vaccines and a microchip, but if they do need a $10,000 surgery and we're able to do that, that's what we do too. So
So I wanted to break down, and we mentioned this where I said, maybe in the future on a show, we need to say what amount you need for different levels of things. So as we show you this, and I'll go back to this again, as you look at the sponsorship levels, because again, they do need your assistance. If you can't do this level, that's fine. At least, purchase your ticket to be there. But let's break this down. So the Barnacle Bar sponsor, which is still available, $1,500. What can that do for you?
$1,500 would be half of a heartworm treatment.
Wow.
So say $1,500, that would get probably 2 to 3 puppies fully vetted.
Yeah. I mean, again, think about all of the dogs that they bring in and get adopted out and just how costly this is. These rescues are just absolutely amazing. Again, Yuppy Puppies Forever Rescue. That's what we're talking about. And the upcoming gala that's in November. So the Flounder Hour sponsor, Barnacle Bar sponsor, those are in the $1,500 level. The Flounder Hour is sold out, but the Barnacle Bar is still available. Sandbar Snapshot sponsor. Thank you for the person that took that off the table.
Yep,
but
that was Kathy Lamarche from Retire Once.
Oh, she's awesome.
Yeah.
I love her. Fortunate Souls sponsor. That's what I did, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So there's how many? One left?
One left of those. And
what does that do at $500?
$500, a dog with no major issues could fully vet out.
Okay.
So that would help one dog that needs to be spayed, neutered, vaccinated, chipped. Like that's our average cost with no issues.
This gives you an idea again of where your money's going. The Mermaid Miles sponsor is at $250. Yep. Thingamabags.
Thingamabag sponsors. So that is, some snacks, a bag of food. The other day, the girls were telling me, we like to keep track of how many cups of food or bags of food we inventory what we have. And it's 82 cups per feeding is what we're currently feeding now. So that's why I'm like, you're tearing open another bag. And I'm over there, with my inventory. And they're like, yeah, it's 82 cups. I'm like, wow. Yeah.
This, again, we're putting it into perspective because when we do these positive talk time shows and we say, we've all laughed together, right? We've cried together. We've really done some incredible work together over the last couple of years. But a lot of you have said when I'm donating, I wonder if it's $100 or $150 or I only have $50. And again, you have to understand that if everybody gave $50, everybody that's watching, again, what do we have? 35,000 people on Facebook alone that follow us. If all of you stepped up and said, okay, maybe I can give $25.
Yeah.
Do you understand how far that would go?
That's a microchip. $20 microchip.
So this puts it into perspective for all of you. If you are wondering again, well, what are you guys talking about? I just signed on. We're talking about the gala that again is coming up. This is a look for you at the sponsorship level, but we'll go back up to all the information. It is going to be at Whitmore Country Club. Fabulous place for this to take place. November 8th, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Again, that mingling area with the adoptable dogs will be from 5 to 6 on the veranda. Flounder Hour. So sponsorships, tables, tickets are available. So if they want to buy a ticket and they say, I don't really think I can sponsor. How much is a single ticket?
$100.
Okay. Yep. And then if they want to do a table?
I think their tables
$1,000.
Yes,
and that's 8 at a table.
It's 8 at a table so you can buy. So it's table sponsors. So you can buy obviously a table of 8 with 4 if you just want 8 people to go with you, but $1,000 gets you on those table sponsors. We ask you if you'll be recognized for sponsoring that table, and then those tables get some extra swag.
Dot just said, I will sponsor. Where do I go to do this? Yay, Dot. Okay, let me put this back in. So they can go to the Cheddar Up page. Is that right? Is that the easiest way?
Yep.
All right. I did post it, Dot, in the comments. Evidently, my 21-year-old Gabriel is not moderating this morning. I'm going to tease him. He just turned 21 yesterday. So I just put that in for you. This is the Cheddar Up page that they go to.
Yep.
So Dot, click on that. Everybody else, spread the word that we need more sponsors. And by the way, Dot, I've already invited you to the gala, so you can sponsor and be part of our table, or you can have a whole nother table. We just pack this in. For today, anybody that buys tickets, is this for sponsors or individual tickets?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Dot, you get this.
So $25 to Rack House. They are one of our sponsors. They're a great bar and grill down the way in Cottleville. So, and he was like, how are ticket sales and other sponsors going? I'm like, slow. And he's like, I got you. Let's do this. He's like, and I was like, great, I'm going on Monica Adams. I'm like, anyone who sponsors or gets a ticket today, we've got Rack House $25 gift certificates for you.
And that I'm going to tell you because I know her husband, Ron, is a big fan of bourbon. They have incredible bourbon. It's a great place for wine. It's a good place for cigars. I've been there, haven't been there in a while. Thank you, by the way. What is his name, the owner? Do you know?
Oh, yes, but I want to say Phil, and it's not Phil. I'm drawing a blank.
I've talked to him in the past. Great establishment. I'm so glad that they're doing this. Again, fantastic food, wine, whiskey. It's in Cottleville, Missouri. So anybody who buys a ticket today, you get a $25 gift card. So for those of you that want to do individual, you want to do a table, you want to do a sponsorship. Dot, by the way, thank you. You are such a giving soul. All of you spread the word. And then again, take that link that I just put in there and click on that for your sponsorship or for your tickets. Actually, Jessica has her phone right by here because we want to hear it go off. Yeah. Dot, do it while we're on the air. It's fun. It's kind of like you're doing like a telethon. Oh, yeah. the phones are ringing. So if you have not purchased your ticket yet, do it right now. And let's help out. Again, coming up in November. And thank you to Linda Gall, because I cannot wait to see her perform. Steve Ewing, by the way, with Steve's Hot Dogs and with The Urge. He was there last year. He lit us up. Yeah. Be ready to dance, by the way.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it's going to be great music. So a great time. So everybody, come on, step up. I know Jessica said it has a tendency to be like this, that people all of a sudden wait. Don't wait, because it freaks them out a little bit.
It does freak us out because one of the other reasons why we only have one fundraiser a year is because fundraisers cost money.
Yes.
And we would rather use our funds on vet care and helping dogs. But so the goal is to the ticket price covers the majority of the having people there, and then we also have to pay deposits ahead of time. So usually everyone buys their tickets at last minute, and we're like, oh, but we had to take funds and pay the deposits and all that. So it's a lot.
It's very pricey, and it's a lot of work. I mean, literally, you wrap up one gala and probably start on it in the next weeks or month. I mean, a month or so later. That's what happens. So, folks, step up. Again, I know that you're a very giving community. So if you haven't purchased your tickets and you've been thinking about it today, pull the trigger. Again, she's giving you a $25 gift card to Rack House for you to go and enjoy, and just a little thank you for you. Okay. All right. We're going to take a break again. When we come back, I can't wait. I don't even know what she's going to say here. She just said, here's what I want to talk about. Oh, and we do have some questions that came in last time that we're going to answer. So Chris, if you're on, we are going to get to that for you, as well as talk about the toys. You do not want to miss this. The toys that we give to our doggies. Are they good or are they bad?
I was just on the Real Monica Adams show, and it was really a good experience for me. When I walked in, the building is just peaceful. The environment is beautiful here. Monica really made me feel welcome.
The Monica Adams show allows people to be themselves. It's really important to share kindness, to be real, to offer stories and things that will give people hope and a reason to smile.
Rather than waking up aggravated, disappointed, and wondering, where's this earth going, choose to wake up with something that'll put your mind and your heart in the right direction. Start with Monica.
Well, welcome back to the Real Monica Adams Show. I'm Monica. This is Jessica Cooke, the owner of Yuppy Puppy Pet Spa. Again, they are in the O'Fallon area as well as Cottleville. And I saw a post, and I just always like to remind people of the great things that they do here. If somebody simply needs, and I just wish you were 5 minutes from my house, because Adelaide needs her nails trimmed. They don't have to have an appointment for that.
Nope.
And how much is it? $25?
$25.
So I looked at her back paws and I'm like, oh, we got to bring her in. I was like, Jim, can you bring her in? And he goes, we have to go to a meeting after this. I'm like, oh, we can't have dogs. I'm like, okay. So folks, if you want that done, again, if you're heading away for a vacation and you want to be able to sleep soundly while you're on vacation, knowing that your babies are taken care of, they have boarding here, again, grooming, daycare, so many levels of things and training. Kennedy, and I haven't met her. What's your other trainer's name?
Jazzy.
I haven't met Jazzy. Have we had Jazzy on?
I don't think so. We should have her on. She's fantastic.
So I've been talking to Jim about it, and I said, I really think that we need Kennedy or Jazzy to look at Opus and whatever it is, it's little idiosyncrasies that he has that maybe we can help him with. Before we get to the questions that came in from Chris, Julie said, Jessica, is it true that a dog can get senility?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a dog that had
Yeah.
dementia. And it's unfortunate that, that we see that, but yes, unfortunately,
Yeah.
yes. Are you going through that, by the way? Are you going through that with your animal? So let's go to, Chris had like about 4 or 5 questions that came in. She, I believe, has a cat,
Okay.
right? I think so. I think that's,
Yeah,
that's,
I think it
that's
was-
the impression that I had, is that she had a cat. So she said the next time that you guys are on together.
I know one of the questions was, she said if there's any cat training classes, she needed a behaviorist. And so I was like, I honestly don't know. And I was doing some research and I couldn't find anything either. Everything I was finding was put your cat on meds. And I was like, okay, but sometimes we all know behaviors, it would be nice to have a cat behaviorist. And so I reached out to my friend, Samira Mitchell. She does Smelly Cat Rescue. And she's like, you name it, we've seen it. We have resources. So, Samira Mitchell would be open and available for questions. And if she doesn't know the answer, she can put you in touch with who they use for her cat. She's everything cat lady.
So I know in the past, we've also had people that have asked, you don't have cats that you adopt out. It's dogs.
Yeah.
So I know that was a question before.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to find all of her questions. I'll get to them as I look through this. Let's go to toys.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking about all the different toys that we buy. Are you thinking I'm in my head trying to figure out where we're going to go with this. If we buy a toy that they just demolish and it's all these little pieces, are we saying that could get stuck inside of them and that could be dangerous? Is that one level of?
That's one level. So I went down a rabbit hole.
Okay.
So, because I was going to talk about toys that are appropriate and play style, because we are seeing so many dogs. We actually took our toy bin out of our meet and greet room because the amount of people that unintentionally are hyping dogs up or playing tug of war with our rescues in there, we're like, oh no, we don't do any of this stuff. And so I was going to talk about proper play and how it can escalate. And then I went down to what is in our toys, and I was like, oh my gosh.
No. It's just like we've said in the past of what is in the food, what's in the snacks,
so
what's in our toys.
I do want to talk about play and what toys are appropriate for what, because so you've seen Ritz and Caper,
yes.
The cattle
Australian
dogs,
cattle dogs,
and, yeah, and so with a dog like that, a high prey drive dog, a high energy dog, highly intelligent, you would never want to give them a squeaky toy. Because any type of squeaky toy, when dogs love it, and they're going to get their spirit, they're literally killing that toy.
Yep.
It's prey. So we don't want them to have prey drive. It might be fine for Wanda, who's a potato. She can squeak on it, whatever. But the dogs that have that prey drive, you are amping them up to then, chase the squirrels, kill the squirrels, do all those things. Maybe it progresses to a cat, another dog, a kid that's squealing. So we have worked so hard of backtracking that this person grabbed a squeak toy we didn't even know was in there and threw it. And Ritz was like, yeah. And so luckily we knew that was something with her. We have been, she knows an out. So that's another thing. So if you do want to play with a dog in that way that has pre-drive, it's your toy that they're borrowing and you decide when play stops. Oh, so yes. I walked right over to Ritz. She knew she was like getting amped up. Leave it, drop it, an out command. And that's training. So then you put the toy away and then we're going to play. So it should never just be, they get it
and they're going to demolish it. Yeah.
Demolish it.
Okay.
That's also how resource guarding starts. Or tug. We have people, everybody wants to play a tug and pull. That's fine. If you have an out, you determine now we're done playing tug, and make it fun and engaging. So they're like, wait for it. It's so fun when they release and go at it, but that can escalate into they're biting a little bit closer to you, or then you go to grab it and they're jumping on the couch, and then it turns to they bit you when you took the toy. All those things. And it's human nature. You want to play with a toy, but there's dogs that it can really escalate to bad behavior. And Ritz, when she came to us at 4 months old and had that guarding behavior, I guarantee someone was playing with the puppy when they were young, and then they were like, "Oh, this really hurts," and
you're like, "You did it."
Yeah. So it was a lot of backtracking.
I can see all that, and so what I have been doing, and I say this, and we mention this every time we're on, that we're trying to set them up for success, right? If all of a sudden they're playing and they're getting closer, and then they bite you, you know that they're like, I didn't mean to do that. And then you get mad at them, right? And then somebody's hurt. So yes, so I guess I'm doing it right. I've been doing that where it is, all right, enough, or I'm putting it away. Yeah. And then she's all excited for the next time that she gets it, to not, because in my mind, it's always, this toy is going to be demolished in 5 minutes. Well, then it's because I let her just have it. Yeah. So we should just have, it's just kind of like screen time for kids, right? Exactly. Here's the time. And now it's,
controlled play. Yep, exactly. Okay. And how we kind of start the process too is, they all don't come with that learning that's out. And so having a treat ready, switching it out. Okay. So when you grab the toy and they let go, give a treat, the toy goes away. And then you replace and you give the whatever word you want out, we're done, release, release, all those things. And then you don't need to carry a treat every time. Sometimes they get the treat, sometimes they don't. It's okay, but they have that out.
Jessica is absolutely correct, by the way, because Jim has always said, look, isn't it funny? And he says, isn't it funny? Because she's just like, it's like it's like prey, right? Yeah. She will take that and just rip it around. He goes, look, she's breaking its neck. Yeah. And I'm like, it's not funny. She's breaking the toy's neck, but she thinks it's prey.
Yeah. And it's okay to let them have that out, but know that if you have a dog with high prey drive tendencies, they don't know that a live cat dog squeaking is no different than, well, why are they getting in trouble now when they used to do that with the toy? So
okay. Yes, Richard said the dude's favorite toy is a 3-foot rope.
Yes.
So
ropes are actually one of the best toys.
Yeah. So that's what I recently bought Tessa. But at the same time, I don't want her tearing it up. So I do have time constraints on it. Yeah. We'll play, we'll tug. Yeah. And, Jim's obviously super strong. And so he'll pull. And she'll be just keep going. And eventually it is, oh, you're so good at this. Right. And then take it away. Yep. That's what we should be doing.
Exactly. As long as they relax and they drop it and they're not jumping at you to get it, they're not incessively after or will not let it go, and it becomes a true tug of war with you, that's good play.
The other thing I've heard in the past, do you agree with, because their brains are trying to figure out the difference here. If you all of a sudden say, well, I'm going to save money, I'm going to get a sock and I'm going to put a plastic water bottle in it and I'll give that to them, but then I'm mad because I'm doing tug of war with the sock and then they're eating my socks.
So that's just goes back to training. We have no problem with some of the best toys are things that you make from home. It shouldn't be an okay that they can go get socks out of the laundry room then, because you have that out, you have that control playtime. If you have a dog that's randomly going and getting things, then you need to backtrack on obedience and proper playtime.
Okay. So yeah, all of you that buy toys, think about this. Julie, going back to the senility thing, she said, yes, my 13-year-old Yorkie, they said they believe she is in early stages. It breaks my heart. She's on trazodone twice a day. Very hard on me and my husband. You try to find out what she wants and it's just like a baby guessing this, guessing that. Any help to that is very much appreciated. What would you do with an animal?
Talk with your vet. I'm not a fan of trazodone for when dogs go through senile, and I'm sure it works for some, but I feel like the sedation can upset them a little bit more.
You know what I did?
What?
Acupuncture.
Yeah.
I had heard that, and actually I did see some, every circumstance is going to be different, but it actually helped her. Yeah. It calmed and focused, and it got them in the state that they're trying to get with medicine. I don't know if it would work, but
Yeah.
that's just one idea.
There's, if you check with your local dispensaries too, I really like the salve, not the internal.
Salve.
So you can put it on their ears
Oh.
and it just gives them a calming sensation if they have any pinched nerves, any pain going on. It's a relaxation. It can do kind of like the same thing a gabapentin can do.
Really?
Yeah. So without
Where do they get that?
any dispensary.
Any dispensary.
Actually, Key Dispensary, I believe, right down the street on Mid Rivers.
Let me ask this, because there are there differences in human and animal or any kind of pets when it comes to people wanting to use things from a dispensary or from CBD or gummies and things like that? And if so, what is the difference? Is it like the amount?
It's the amount. I believe the THC is not as high, and I'm not a expert on any of that, but I do know I am a fan of like the salves because it doesn't go into their bloodstream, so they won't feel any type of highway, like, which could be good for how we talk about fireworks where you need more of that,
But do they need that level, or do the CBD, all of you, I'm asking, if you use CBD, do they work? Because we tried these little cookies that had CBD in them. I've tried, it doesn't work on Tessa.
Really?
So, no.
Yeah.
And the Thunder shirt doesn't work.
Yeah.
None of that works. And so, of course, we have our vet saying, oh, well, give him this. And I said, I don't want to drug the dog, but I also don't want her to be so fearful. I mean, she's not the kind of dog that throws himself through a glass window.
Right.
She just runs into the closet.
She's a little nervous.
Yeah.
I'd be interested that we should get you some salve.
She said salve. Is that how you spell it?
Yeah.
S-A-V?
Like a oil, like how it's in, like they have it for.
Or S-A-L-V-E?
Yeah, salve.
S-A-L-V-E.
So like, they sell it for us where you can put it on a hip area or something like that. Like if you're not feeling any type of way, but it goes directly to that spot. And so you can put that on their ears and their paw pads a little bit. And then it just kind of relaxes them.
So Julie, try that again. So she's also on
gabapentin. Yeah.
Okay. So again, maybe not try all the pharmaceutical side and maybe see if that's not working. Kathleen, we learned quickly with our very sweet Swiss girl that she likes to play ball right after breakfast. And then we say, okay, all done. She's been she's been keeping me updated on how Swiss is doing.
That's awesome.
Swiss.
We need a Swiss update.
Right? So Kathleen, they adopted Swiss, and she's like, Monica, I just cannot even begin to tell you how much she has lit up our life and their neighbors. So she's in the neighbor's yard, and the neighbors kind of feel like they've adopted her too.
That's awesome.
She truly did go to the best home she could.
Yay.
Oh, Dow just said sponsorship done.
Yay.
See you all at the gala.
Okay.
Acupuncture, where did you go? Well, this has been a long time because this was my dog Kira that used to have seizures and things like that.
She did a Fortunate Soul sponsor.
Oh,
Thank
yay!
you.
She's my twin. So she gets 2 tickets for that, right?
Yeah.
All right, we got tickets to give away to friends. Julie, there was a vet on Hampton that did acupuncture, but I will tell you that I learned from someone that's that was a Chinese physician. He said that if anybody, vet or anyone that you go to that does acupuncture, if they set a timer for 15 minutes, don't ever go back to them. That was his comment, because he said that if you are pulling everybody calls them needles, but they're actually wires. If you pull them out before they're done, that's not how you're supposed to do acupuncture. Acupuncture, if you've ever had it done, they literally fall out of you. Like if I had some right here on her shoulder, or this was, the pain somewhere else, but this is like, the meridian point, that you keep letting them work. Like if you give it a little tug and it's not done, they'll say, okay, we'll come back.
That's amazing.
Yes. So he stressed that. I have to be thankful for that there was a vet that did it. So at least it brought my mind to it. Then I transferred to him. He was a Chinese physician, unfortunately no longer in our country. He moved, but I'm sure you can find there. Actually, your vet, your chiropractic vet, does he do acupuncture?
I don't think he does acupuncture, but he is amazing with not only chiropractic, but just mobility and,
he might have ideas. What's his name again?
Tyler Stallman.
Okay. Dr. Tyler Stallman. Julie, maybe look that up.
His business is Equine Performance, but he does all pets and humans. He does it all. He does me and my horse. So
that is how
great.
That's how this doctor was.
Yeah.
I would go, okay, how's she doing in there? I'm going to lay over here.
Because it's really unique. If he'll watch my horse and myself ride, and if my if my hip is out, it's like I'm a mirror image of my horse. My horse's hip is out, so we get adjusted.
You get the same time?
Yeah.
Turn.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was listening, but she is whining. Can you spell that again? I'm sorry. Which
It's either like a salve, like a salve, salve.
is that what you're asking? Or are you
like,
asking for Tyler's
or like
information?
an oil? I think she was up there for the
thing earlier?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's okay. Julie, so if you need any more after the show, let us know. I'm going to take our final break. I'm going to try to find Chris's other questions that I had sent. Again, if you have any questions while we're live or you want it for a future show, let us know. By the way, Dot Fleshman, Coldwell Banker Gundaker. She's a phenomenal real estate agent. She's on with me for Friendship Friday. She just bought a sponsorship. So that one's done, right?
That one's done.
Yay!
Okay, we still have 2 more.
Gift cards. All right. So if you haven't purchased your tickets yet, do it today. I was trying to have you do it during the show, but they can do it anytime today.
Anytime today, but then they need to put in a note though that Monica Adams, so they get those.
Yes. So if you're going to buy your tickets individual, you want to buy a full table, you want to do a sponsorship, say that you either again put my name or say that you saw it on Positive Talk Time with Jessica and Monica, etc. That way we'll give away the rack gift cards. You might as well get something a little extra besides feeling great about what you're doing. All right, we're going to wrap up Positive Talk Time. Any other questions, let us know, drop those in, and we'll wrap up in just a sec.
This lady got me in the best shape of my life. I literally didn't know that I could be in shape like that. But the amount that she pours into her clients, and especially whenever you get the one-on-one training, it's mind-blowing. I mean, it was really life-changing. I learned so much about proper form, about nutrition, about just being able to invest in myself. I hired Monica to be my personal trainer, which was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Welcome back. All right, we're in the wrap up of Positive Talk Time. By the way, if you're new to this show and you're like, oh my gosh, I love these two together. Yes, she's my co-host. And we bring you some positivity. I will bounce around on the other platforms. I saw a lot of you signing on earlier on Instagram. Instagram seems to be very quiet. X is also quiet, but they watch. I mean, we got 65 of you on right now. So I'm glad that you are loving the messages that we get out. It was very, very important to us at the beginning of the show. And so if you missed the beginning of the show, go back and watch. And again, it's just our feelings, our love for the messages that are out there in the world. But one of the greatest things that we can talk about is what Charlie Kirk was doing, which is debate me. But I'm listening to you. And so, as you said, your daughter and a lot of the younger generation, the biggest thing that they said was, no. He never had anything bad to say. He just wanted to hear your side.
Let's
and he put the mic down.
Yeah.
Didn't he? He let you completely speak so he could hear your side. To me, that's what it's about. And I know there's a lot of hate out there and people will say, well, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you. To me, it's just, let's keep an open mind. It's not that you're going to change my mind.
Right.
You may, though. I don't
Right.
know. You might say
Right.
something that makes me think a whole different way. But in the end, really all we need to do to carry his message forward, and anybody else whose life has been lost because of what they believed, so callously taken, is that we do exactly the same. And we carry that mission forward by saying, okay, this is how I feel. All right, well, can you listen to me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Let's listen to each other because that's what this is about. So we started with that. We talked about toys. The other part of it is let's go back to the toys for a second. That always scares me is, when they start to tear them down, and I know that they're just having so much fun with them.
Yeah.
You can't just leave them with the toy and then leave the house because it could be dangerous that they are swallowing that.
Yeah.
Then you're taking them to the vet because it's
Yeah.
all inside of them,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So what would
Yeah.
be the worst toys for that?
So you want to go down that rabbit hole?
Yeah, I do because I think this is good information.
Pretty much
for you.
any, so there's a good, I found all this website on preventativevet.com, and they did a whole bunch of consumer affair reports on toys. So pretty much any toy that's not made in America, stay away from.
Really?
Yes. And so the cheaper the toy, like the toys that you find, they list Walmart, the dollar store. So many of those are leaching toys, meaning they have lead, melamine, arsenic, bromine. So the cheaper the toy, it's usually there's a reason that they're filling them with things. And it's one of those things. It's dog related, so the FDA doesn't regulate what goes in there. But they found extreme elevated levels in any toys made from China that were carried at these stores.
Doesn't it blow your mind? I mean, again, these shows that we've done with Jessica have been so eye-opening to me of that's in your food, that's in their treats. Now it's in their toys that you're giving them. Again, you're trying to do the feel good of we're bringing you a toy, honey.
Because any of those parts, I mean, you think your dog then is eating bits of arsenic and formaldehyde and bromine, even if they're not fully breaking it off and digesting the pieces, but they're leaching. So it's just on your floor full of this
Do they give any
nasty
kind of like
stuff.
specifics?
Of what kinds of toys?
Yeah.
No, they just say
just cheap toys.
Cheap toys, basically.
It's the ones that are more cloth based, probably, or is it also like rubber ones?
Rubber ones,
really?
Too. Yeah, toxic significance in all these toys.
You know what?
Which causes all kinds of things: kidney problems, toxic blood levels, lead poisoning. I mean.
Can I ask this? Because I saw this the other day and I always want to do, is it true or is it not? When you are bringing home their food, should you keep it in the bag or should you put it in tubs? Because I was reading something, and again,
remember, no plastic tubs.
Okay.
No plastic tubs.
So
we did a whole thing on that, and I'll have to go back to my notes. So once you open up a bag of dog food, because it's at such a high heat and preservatives that they coat in so the dog food lasts longer, once you open it up, that bag of dog food, I think they said it was good for like 30 days is it. And then if you put it in plastic, it creates a chemical reaction with those preservatives with the plastic, making your dog food toxic.
Okay. So keep it in the bags?
Keep it in the bags, roll it up.
Yep.
I'm sure probably like a stainless steel large tin.
No, that would be okay?
That would probably be okay. Yeah.
Isn't it crazy? I mean, again, she's just giving us, we're all trying to be like, oh, let's put it in this and let's have it all nice and tidy. Nope, don't do that. Keep it in the bag. Leave it in the bag. Yeah. And then if someone wants to say, I don't want you to be scared. We're not doing this to scare you, but we're doing it to educate you and make you aware. What would be in your mind, what is the absolute best toy besides a rope?
Kong.
Okay, I was just gonna ask you, is Kong okay?
And they have a variety of toys now. They're made in America.
The dogs are saying yes.
The inventor of Kong is amazing. I've spoken with him, and the products that are used are safe. Also, Jolly balls, like the giant balls, those are good too.
Okay.
That's really all I can. I mean, I'm sure there's more if I look into it, but I would need to look into it a little bit.
Well, I just recently went. I think a rope. I always go back to ropes. My dog Nico loved a rope. Kira loved a rope. Tessa loves this big rope. But the greatest thing, if you missed what we talked about before, she said there's got to be time, and you're the one that is ultimately controlling that, right? Don't let them tear it apart and rip it apart and rip its neck apart. Just have its time. Take it away. Have your release word, whatever that is. I love these shows with you. That dog's like, I want a rope. I want a rope. Okay. Oh, how do you spell Tyler's last name?
STAHLMAN. Yes.
Dr. Tyler Stallman, but it's equine.
Equine Performance.
Yeah. My other one is 11 years old and is a male. What about Woof, Bite, and Brush? Oh no, I have mine in a plastic tub. Yep, same thing. We're giving you all this information. What's Woof, Bite, and Brush? Is that I don't know if that's a toy. I've never heard of that. Just get a rope.
Yeah, or a good old stick.
So yeah, right, sticks. And then the Tessa breaks the sticks down to this little slivers. You can have this big, huge stick, but she always wants it this small. So
Elite Equine and Rider Performance.com.
Elite Equine and Rider Performance.com. All right. Again, I wish I had. Here's what I'll do. When the show wraps up, I'll go back and drop some of these in the comments so that you have all the information that you need. So yes, Julie and everybody else, pass that information along. Everything we've given you today, just to make people aware. If they've got animals, let them know about that. So one more time, if you have not purchased your tickets, buy them today. You've got to put in the comment section, though, that you knew about it from the Monica Show so that you can get the Rack House. certificate. Sponsorship still available, table still available, and individual tickets as well. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks for having me.
Brilliant, isn't she? Tomorrow, Foodie Friday, and we are going to feature the Greater St. Louis Hispanic Festival. Have you ever been to that?
No, I've always wanted
Next
to go.
weekend. Next weekend.
I'm gonna go.
19th, 20th, 21st. Do you remember Brenda K. Starr? Do you know that artist? She's coming to town. She's playing Saturday night. It's actually going to be pretty cool. So a lot of music, obviously incredible food. We're going to make tacos, burritos, and quesadillas with Tacos Sammy. That'll be affiliated with the Greater St. Louis Hispanic Festival. And we'll talk about all of that on Foodie Friday tomorrow. And I'm going to give away a 1-year membership to Crunch Fitness. There's one in St. Peters. There's one in Baldwin. There's one in Florissant. And Fenton, breaking news, is coming next. They've got so many planned, by the way. I think there's going to be like 12 locations in the next year and a half to 2 years. So Fenton is on tap next. If you want to be in the drawing for the Crunch Fitness 1-year giveaway or a 1-year membership, you got to let me know before tomorrow morning. All you have to do is say, I want to be in the drawing. That easy. Email me or drop a comment in today. All right, everybody. Love you all. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. with a little Foodie Friday. And the greatest message we can do today is find your voice. Speak up. Be an advocate for helping each other, which means you are kind. God bless you all. Have a beautiful day.